Moving ahead, we have another intellectual keynote presentation by Mr. Abdelkarim Abu Jaber. He is the Territory Sales and Channel Manager of Bahrain, Oman, and Yemen at Microsoft. Abdelkarim will present his keynote on hybrid cloud, innovation anywhere, and Azure. We welcome you, Abdelkarim, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Bridget. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible, visible?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Okay, wonderful. Great. Let me just ensure I share my screen. My presentation is visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Abdelkarim Abu Jaber. I'm the Territory Sales and Channel Manager for Microsoft Bahrain, Oman, and Yemen. I'm based out of Bahrain. I'm so happy to be with you today to discuss the hybrid cloud options and how Microsoft, from the perspective of Microsoft, how are we looking on towards the hybrid cloud and details. So with the exceptional growth of data, most organizations find themselves with data sprawling across diverse and siloed environments. Many organizations have up to thousands of apps, databases, VMs that are there. In turn, those are running on various types of hardware, from on-prem data centers, and some are on the edge. And finally, many companies and many organizations are using cloud services from more than one provider. So it's really challenging to manage these disparate environments at scale, ensure security, and maintain consistent governance when each source is managed with a different tool and the lack of visibility across them. So reasons for a hybrid strategy. There are many reasons for hybrid strategy. Summarizing the most important three is some regulatory and data sovereignty issues implemented by governments and countries, low latency and edge workloads, application and data center modernization. So most organizations, as I said, have a large application portfolio with hundreds and thousands of apps, sometimes even tens of thousands of apps that are available. How do you in an organization assess your applications portfolio and take advantage of the different cloud models, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, or even a private cloud and on-prem data centers? So in order to ensure you gain efficiency, achieve cost saving, and drive faster innovation. So for applications such as, from a Microsoft perspective, such as SharePoint, Exchange, Office, you can move to a SaaS model. And so you can quickly free up people and resources. There are some applications that you want to move quickly to the cloud without modifying them, so you can gain cloud scale and efficiency. You can migrate these to infrastructure as a service VMs. So also for applications that are mission critical or core to your businesses and require continuous innovation, you can use a combination of containers and serverless technology to enable faster innovation and agility. There are also workloads that must stay on premise for a variety of reasons, as I mentioned earlier: regulatory reasons, requirements, data sovereignty issues, network latency, or simply not ready to migrate when there are some customers that are not ready to migrate to the cloud. So how do you gain cloud benefit for these applications? So you can bring the cloud to your data center, and you can build and run cloud apps on premises. And then there are the legacy apps and virtualized apps that you want to run on modern infrastructure and connect to cloud services. So you have new applications which will enable new business models and new experiences for your customers, for your partners at the edge. bringing together IoT, AI, and compute close to the place where the data is collected at the edge. This is extremely important from an Azure perspective. So based on decades of experience from Microsoft perspective, serving and working with customers on-premise and on Azure cloud, or even on the edge, Microsoft have managed to develop a wide range of hybrid cloud solutions. The offerings from Microsoft makes it easier to seamlessly manage hybrid environments across distributed location and different cloud, and as well different cloud providers. So we are not only limited to Microsoft cloud, but we're also we have tools that can easily help and support you manage different cloud providers as well. So starting with Azure Stack as an integrated hardware and software system, extending our Azure services and capabilities to your environments of choice, from data centers to edge locations and remote offices. Azure Arc brings Azure management and Azure services to any infrastructure. Azure IoT has all the devices, tools, data analytics, and security capabilities to help you achieve your IoT goals. So with Azure Stack, Azure Arc, and Azure IoT, you'll have your management, security, app, and data services, DevOps, and DevOps tools all covered from one area. I'll go in a brief about each one to explain how does it work. So Azure Arc. Azure Arc, as Microsoft Azure Arc is a set of technologies that helps customers simplify complex as well as distributed environments. It brings Azure management, Azure services, Azure security, and cloud practices like DevOps to any infrastructure, as I mentioned, across on-premise, multi-cloud, and on the edge. Azure Stack portfolio. So Azure Stack portfolio includes 3 offerings that extends the Azure services and capabilities across data centers, remote offices, and cloud and edge locations. So that portfolio makes it possible to build and run hybrid edge computing application constantly across environments, provide you with choices and flexibility to address diverse workloads. And the Azure Stack portfolio offers, as I mentioned, 3 different solutions. We have the Azure Stack Edge, and we have the Azure Stack HCI, and we have the Azure Stack Hub. Unfortunately, for the limited time that I have, I won't have the luxury of explaining each one in details, but I'll be happy to do that on a one-to-one basis at a later stage. Just to give you an example, Esri is an international supplier of geographical mapping software, who are using Azure Stack Edge, previously known as what we used to call it Data Box Edge. So through using the Data Box Edge, known as Azure Stack Edge, Esri was able to improve effectiveness of field teams during disaster responses. So what they have done in terms of the field teams of Esri is collect images, process it on Azure Stack Edge locally, and run into and then goes into updating their maps. So they have responders used updated maps to coordinate the response efforts, even when it is completely disconnected from the command center. So Azure Security, this is another example as well. The Canadian Museum for Human Rights is an area that also they have used Azure Edge. So Azure Security, and this is of course an important area. So from a security perspective, Microsoft have helped strengthen security posture across operations, technologies, and partnership. So we have invested more than $1 billion. We invest more than $1 billion in annual cybersecurity. We have over 3,500 global security experts We benefit from the Microsoft Intelligent Security Graph, which uses trillions of signals from Microsoft services and systems around the globe to identify new and evolving threats. I'd like to share with you a testimonial by one of our customers. So this is a brief video to show you Paul McEwen, who is the Group Head of Infrastructure Security Engineering and Cloud Strategies at UBS Bank. I'd like to share with you just for a few seconds what he has to say in that perspective.
As you can imagine, being a bank, we're regulated all around the world by various different regulators. So we have to be highly secure, and obviously we have confidential data that we have to manage. The good thing for us is that Microsoft has taken a step into that environment. So there's a lot of controls that now we don't have to do. We have to report on them, but the controls are actually taken care of for us. And if you look at, from an investment standpoint, Microsoft invests over $1 billion a year in security of the cloud. We could never invest that amount of money. So we're taking advantage of your investments to help us become more secure.
Yeah, so that shows you basically the investment that we've put in order to help and support customers in the different scenarios that they have, whether they want to go full cloud, whether they want to go on a hybrid model, or whether they want to go and use our technologies on an on-prem solutions. So I think I am perfectly on time. If you would like to learn more, I invite you to visit the site, the azure.com/hybrid, so you can learn more on how we can help you in your journey and the cloud options and the cloud solutions that you choose. And to that, I come to an end. I thank you again for the opportunity, and I'm happy to take any discussion on a one-to-one basis at a later stage. Thank you very much, and back to you.
Well, thank you, Abdelkarim, for your insightful keynote presentation on hybrid cloud, innovation anywhere, and Azure. We value your association here on this platform. You have a lovely day ahead.
Pleasure of mine. Thank you very much.
Dear participants, Microsoft is our prestigious technology partner. Definitely consider visiting their booths today and tomorrow to meet, greet, and network with the Microsoft's representatives.